So far, the Second World War has been over more than 70 years. War atrocities of Nazi Germany are well known to everyone. Behind that bloody war, there is a little-known history hidden. The Nazi leaders, with Hitler at the core, used to fascinated by the optimization and improvement of the Germanic nation, secretly and deliberately developed fantastic weapons, such as flying saucer, and wanted to conquer the whole world with the help of mysterious magical power to create a German Third Reich that will never die. The First World War dealt a heavy blow to Germany. The defeated Germany was full of depression, full of turmoil and despair. In 1923, 5 years after the end of the First World War, the Deutsche Mark has plummeted all the way. The financial world is in chaos. France and Belgium also cited Germany's inability to fulfill its obligation to pay compensation under the Versailles Peace Treaty, sent troops and occupied Ruhr, an important industrial zone in Germany. This is undoubtedly worse. It aroused strong dissatisfaction and anger among the German people towards the Weimar Republic. November 8th of this year, after Hitler and Rudolf Hess failed in the beer hall coup in Munich, detained in the Fort Landsberg prison outside Munich. During the 9 months in prison, Hitler dedicated My Struggle. The book paints a beautiful blueprint for the future of Germany under Nazi rule. In this book, Hitler praised the Aryan, the human being we have today. Other achievements of culture, art, science, and technology, almost all, were created by Aryans. They are the Prometheus of humanity. Since ancient times, their glowing foreheads have sprouted the spirits of genius. In Nazi language, Aryans sometimes refer to whites of non-Jewish descent. More of it is a single Germanic. Nearly 10 years after the beer hall coup, January 30, 1933, Hitler became the Chancellor of Germany. Large and small towns in Germany held a grand all-night torch parade. People cheered enthusiastically to Hitler, thought they found a German savior, found a hero who resisted the oppression of the international fundamental, the so-called God of justice, the protector. Since then, Hitler even more vigorously advocated the theory of Germanic racial superiority. Hitler's ultimate goal is to further atomize the so-called outstanding races such as Aryans into new humans with extraordinary abilities, and then dominate the whole world. Hitler's loyal follower, Nazi Party leader Himmler, is an unswerving implementer of racial purification policy. He has an extraordinary admiration and obsession with Nordic mythology and metaphysics. Himmler was born in Munich in October 1900, participated in Hitler's beer hall coup at the age of 23. In 1929, he was appointed as the leader of the SS, manages a SS with less than 300 people. Himmler firmly believes that only pure blood can bring spiritual loyalty. The pure blood he mainly refers to the Germanic blood. In 1935, in order to confirm Hitler's theory of racial superiority, Himmler concocted an Ancestral Heritage Association that served the Nazi doctrine. It included various so-called experts, including medical scientists, explorers, and archaeologists, even warlocks and mental patients, conduct a series of investigations on race, descent, ancient religions, ancient runings, math, and legends. The Ancestral Heritage Association not only conducts life experiments on Jews, but also guides German military operations through superstitious methods such as divination and astrology. Before the end of World War II, the Ancestral Heritage Association had developed into a huge evil organization with 40 departments. Not only that, Himmler, who is keen to mysterious powers, also deeply believes in a magical legend and Atlantis that has been circulating in Europe for a long time. Atlantis is also known as the Great West Continent. The magical legend of the artifact about Atlantis first appeared in the dialogue written by the ancient Greek philosopher Plato in 350 BC. The book describes 12,000 years ago in the Atlantic Ocean, there was an amazing continent, Atlantis. Later generations speculated that the lost empire Atlantis was a secret takeoff and landing base for UFOs. Others believe that the legend of the Atlantis must be related to the mysterious undersea civilization that may have disappeared. 4th century BC, King Alexander underwater adventure has a direct purpose, that is, to find and conquer a kingdom that has eluded him for many years, Atlantis. Plato also said, Zeus, the hand of God, in order to punish people's depravity, caused a great earthquake and flood in Atlantis. Some Atlantis people fled by boat and finally settled in India and Tibet. Then, the continent of Atlantis sank to the bottom of the sea. The descendants of the Atlantis once created a splendid civilization in Central Asia. Later, one of them migrated to the northwest and south and became the ancestors of the Aryans and the Indians, respectively. Relying on Plato's related descriptions, some Nazi scholars began to use the topic to promote the existence of Atlantis civilization. Moreover, the ancestors of the Aryans are indeed a branch of the Atlantis protoss, only because they later combined with mortals. They lost divine power that their ancestors had. In order to conquer the entire world, Hitler did a lot of political propaganda and launched a lot of military operations, but he was not confident. He needed to find evidence to support his argument, so he began to search for the axis of the Earth and the origin of the Germanic nation. Himmler and other believers believe that once it can be proven that ancestors of the Aryan are gods, they can use selective breeding and other racial purification methods to create an incredible Aryan protoss army with supernatural power, thereby conquering the world. Therefore, Himmler set his sights on searching for mysterious powers and aimed at China's Tibet, where the ancestors of the Aryans were said to have settled, and other accessible mysterious areas. In 1938 and 1943, with Hitler's approval, Himmler personally formed 2 expeditions. They traveled far and wide to go to Tibet to secretly search for the ancestors of the Germanic nation, which is the evidence of the existence of the so-called Atlantean tribe. In 1938, Himmler sent a German SS Schiffer expedition headed by naturalist Ernst Schäfer and anthropologist Bruno Beger to Tibet in search of descendants of Atlanteans.